Welcome back to Performance AI. Based on our previous videos, you've probably noticed that ChatGPT can be used for a variety of tasks. It can help you write code, solve math problems, brainstorm ideas, and even write entire essays. However, in today's video, you'll learn how to harness the power of ChatGPT to create prompts that can help AI generate hyper-realistic images using Midjourney. You can go from getting blurry images with weird text to images that look like a scene out of a movie in under 10 minutes. Let's get started. You're going to have to start by opening ChatGPT in your browser of choice. Once you've done that, the first step is to train ChatGPT to generate prompts in a format that Midjourney will understand. There are many different formulas you can use to get ChatGPT to generate effective prompts, but we'll provide you with the one that's worked well for us. The first line of your prompt should state, "Remember this Midjourney prompt formula." This lets ChatGPT know that you're going to be providing it with information that should be stored because it will be needed in future messages. Next, you should enter the following formula in the format shown on screen. Subject of photo, 5 descriptive keywords, camera type, camera lens type, time of day, style of photography, type of film, aspect ratio, shooting mode, camera setting, and post-processing techniques. You don't have to use everything I just listed, but the more specific you are with the prompts you generate from Midjourney, the better your results will be. Finally, below this formula, you should write, "Do you have the formula stored?" This lets ChatGPT know that it needs to respond with a yes or no answer to indicate whether or not it understands your formula. Otherwise, it may try to decipher what you're saying and respond with a message unrelated to what you're actually trying to do. With that being said, before we get too ahead of ourselves, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Performance AI so you can always get the most out of your tech. Once ChatGPT understands how to formulate Midjourney prompts for you, it's time for you to provide it with the subject to base the prompts on. For example, you could ask it to write 5 Midjourney prompts based on the Titanic. It will then respond with 5 unique Midjourney prompts using the formula you provided during the training process. The Titanic is just one of the nearly unlimited examples you could come up with. The prompts could be based on any TV show, movie, animal, location, or even season. The possibilities are endless. It's never a bad idea to keep experimenting with different prompt ideas until you find the ones you like the most. However, the more specific your prompt, the more likely you are to get the image you're looking for. To go back to our Titanic example, you may want to say, "Write 5 Midjourney prompts based on Titanic characters" instead. That way, you'll get prompts based on the people in the movie instead of locations on the boat, like we got before. The main thing we're trying to convey here is that you want to be specific. For example, if you ask for prompts about a guy named Freddy, you would get so many different outcomes. You might get Freddy from Scooby-Doo or Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. It pays off to be as specific as possible. Before we get to the results, let's give a brief overview of how Midjourney works. Midjourney is an AI-powered image generation service that can be accessed through Discord. To get started, go to midjourney.com and click on Join the Beta. Once you click this button, it will redirect you to Discord, where you can either log in or create an account. Discord is accessible as a web-based application or a downloadable desktop app, but we recommend downloading the desktop app for the best experience. It's important to note that you can only generate a limited amount of images for free with Midjourney, so if you plan on using it regularly, you'll need to check out the premium plans on their website. Once you've joined their Discord, find the Newbies channel, which will be visible in the left sidebar of the Midjourney official server. You can also use the Midjourney bot if it's added to other servers, but that's beyond the scope of this video. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into how we can see some results. To generate an image, use the /imagine command, followed by the short text description, or prompt, that you crafted using ChatGPT earlier in this video. The bot will then generate 4 unique images based on the prompt you provided. This process can take a few minutes, but it will notify you when your generation is complete. Now, time for some examples. After copying and pasting our Titanic Grand Staircase prompt into Midjourney from ChatGPT, you can see how closely Midjourney was able to generate an image that resembles how the staircase actually looked on the Titanic. Although the images may not be a one-to-one match to what the Titanic staircase looked like, Midjourney was able to capture the type of architecture, time period, and style of decoration nearly perfectly. The results we obtained from the Jack and Rose at the bow of the Titanic prompt were slightly less accurate. Once again, Midjourney was able to correctly identify the type of clothing, the relationship between the two characters, and the time of day almost perfectly, except for thinking that Jack and Rose were much older in the two top pictures. However, it did not understand what the bow of the Titanic was, resulting in it giving us results that had no resemblance to the iconic scene of Jack holding Rose by the waist at the front of the boat as we intended. This shows the importance of carefully crafting prompts to achieve the desired results, and most importantly, that it may require several attempts to obtain the desired image. After the initial image grid is finished generating, you can upscale or create new variations of the selected image using the U and V buttons respectively. Finally, you will want to right-click and save the image to your computer so that it can be easily accessed later. Although Midjourney allows you to see the results from your previous prompts if you log into their website, it is much easier to go back to the images if you have them saved locally. That's it! You now know how to harness the power of ChatGPT to create prompts that can help generate hyper-realistic images using Midjourney. What do you plan on generating using this method? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Performance AI so you can always get the most out of your tech. For a little added excitement, click that video on the screen now to see what YouTube's AI thinks you should watch next. See you next time.